Last week, we gave you an insider's look at the annual performance racing show in Indianapolis, but 1 week wasn't enough, so we're back for more. Strap in and hang on.
Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest and exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
How big is the Performance Racing Industry Show? Well, it covers a giant convention center, every square inch and the hallways in between, and it spills over into Lucas Oil Stadium next door. This show is so big, we couldn't dream of covering it in 1 week, so we are back for the second week. Let's go. As we all know, racing produces violent conditions inside an engine. In fact, the engine can actually tear itself apart from the inside out, but there is an insurance policy. It's from Clearview Filtration. Mike, how can you save a racing engine?
Well, I've been an engine builder for 30 plus years, building mostly racing and performance engines, and our customers needed an easier way to check for filtered particles in an engine. Common practice is to cut a filter apart. They make a lot of screen filters out there that you can disassemble and inspect them and then clean them out and put them back on. What we've accomplished with our new see-through oil filter assembly is we have a clear window on the top that you can see the entire filter element underneath it. When you're running your engine, you can determine the condition of the oil through the window. When you shut your engine off, a small shot of compressed air to the fitting on the side will push the dirty oil out in seconds, and every visible particle will be sitting there on the screen to where you can see it in a matter of seconds when you shut the engine off.
What kind of different racing vehicles do you cover?
Any combustion engine, whether it's on your street car or a race car or even industrial applications, we have it all. Any fluid system can be ran through our filter assembly.
Can you cover me if I have a dry sump system?
Absolutely. We run this filter on the pressure side, and we also have dry sump tanks with our filter on top. Same exact technique. Any fluid system, any oil system can adapt our filter easily. Even Caterpillars and Kenworths and Peterbilts, you can easily put our system on your equipment.
The future of oil filtration is here, and it's at clearviewfiltration.com. This is one of my favorite vehicles here at the PRI show. This is a 1954 Chevy owned by David Pilgrim. It's been in his family since it was brand new. Johnson's Hot Rod Shop in Gadsden, Alabama built this thing. It has electronic controls from S&S Diesel. Let's talk about how this works. 4 turbos back here. Take a look here where the filters are. That's where the air comes in from the atmosphere, one on either side. That air goes back here to an intercooler, comes back up here to the second stage here, one on this side, one on that side. That air gets compressed, goes under the vehicle, back up to the engine, passes through another intercooler before it goes in there. The result of that, it makes 1,500 horsepower, and the byproduct of that, you can go 220 miles an hour and get the land speed record at Bonneville. If there's an innovation in the torque converter world, you can bet it is coming from Neil Chance Racing. Always changing, always evolving. What's new this year, Marty?
The 12.3 billet torque converter, originally designed for top fuel nitromethane applications, has just taken over the turbo diesel world. You know, we put that in the fire punk car, and first weekend out was the first car in the 3-second range. We've also brought back the billet titanium drive cover, which was a real hit years ago with the turbo pro mod applications. We're back to doing that. And another thing we've come up with is a billet turbine for the 8-inch converter. Not only is it unique because it's billet, but it has a specific design that makes it a more efficient power transfer.
Why is billet better inherently?
You have absolute control of fluid flow. A torque converter is a fluid coupling or a fluid power transfer, which means the more accurate your fluid flow, the more potential power transfer to the rear tires. You don't want to lose power. You want all the power you spent the money to make on that motor, you want it to get to the rear tires.
Last year here at PRI, you introduced the 4L80, and that was untested at the time. How's testing gone with that?
The 4L80's worked out real well. The target market there is the high-end street rod. Someone who's got 1,000+ horsepower boosted street rod and he wants to run a 4L80 and lock it up in every gear and not worry about losing the clutches. We did a lot of testing, even in a turbo diesel application, just to see if we could hurt it. Thing went out with the fastest pass that it ever ran, and I think that thing's going to be a real hit. So the guy who's got some twin turbo street rod and you're tired of smoking those clutches, we got the answer.
Whether it's your hot rod or your race car, if you need a torque converter, Neil Chance Racing Converters is the place to go. You can find them at racingconverters.com. And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings when we come back from PRI.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Dead Scent. Start treating your nose to better days. Sky's the Limit Car Care. We drive what moves you. Console Vault, the original in-vehicle safe. And by NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
Motorhead Garage is the name, racing is the game here at the PRI show in Indy. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know the future in the automotive industry is electric. It's the same thing in racing. Believe it or not, this is a Tesla Model 3. It finished second in its class in the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. Over here, something even faster. How about a Formula E car? This thing has 2 motors in it, one in the front, one in the back, making 470 horsepower. That'll get you 200 miles an hour. Formula E coming to a country near you in 2023. Over here at the WireCare booth, this is Joe Clohessy, and this is his 69 Plymouth Roadrunner. It's got a 383 stroker under the hood, making 500 horsepower. Ready for the strip, except for a couple mods here, Kevin. We see traditional hose clamps at each end of the radiator hose. Why is a traditional hose clamp bad for a racing environment?
A lot of times you get those flat spots, so you're not getting a true 360-degree seal. Also with the vibrations in those racing engines, it works them loose. So we're going to make them a nice, clean 360 seal clamp that won't come loose, and it's going to be a lot cleaner. As you can see, Joe has a very clean engine here. We're going to clean that up a little bit so we don't have any of these tails sticking up over top of that. I've already tightened my tool in. We're just going to finish it off here, and we're snugging it up, and then we're going to flip that all the way over here. Now we're going to back that tool off. That's going to pop right up, and then I'm just going to snip these back here about 1/4 inch or so, and then we're going to press those down. And once we bury those tabs into the hose there, it's not going to come back loose. It's not going to vibrate off. Now what we can do is we're just going to remove this one. So we're going to take our screwdriver, we're going to back that off a little bit, and we're going to slide that right off.
And this creates a seal all the way around with a clamp tight tool. And for folks, we should mention, if you're a hot rodder and you want to keep the look of those traditional clamps, or maybe a tower clamp or something, you can put that right over the clamp tight clamp as well.
Absolutely. Give it that period look, that make it all correct.
Kevin, I know a lot of racers are watching, and they want to know how easy is it to take off a clamp tight clamp.
So what we're going to do, we're going to bend these tabs right back over our ridge there that we made, and then we're going to grab that right in the middle there and pull, and that clamp will pull right back off.
That's an amazingly strong hose clamp application. Great for racing, great for farm, great for industry, and great for your car. You can find it at clamptighttools.com. Dallara has been famous for making race cars for half a century, 10 years here in the United States. Well, this one comes from Italy, and it's the culmination of all that technology. It's the Dallara EXP. Now, there's only 5 or 6 of these in the United States, one of them right here at the PRI show. You see all the aero effects on there, 2,700 pounds of downforce at 180 miles an hour, full carbon fiber monocoque, just like you would have in a race car, 4 air jacks if you want to work on this thing yourself. It's an easy to maintain vehicle because it has a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder Ford engine. Makes 500 horsepower, if you can believe that. And if you want to make it a little more civilized, some options you can get: doors, a roof, even air conditioning. Now, I don't know about you, but when I see a cleaner that says it's green, I run in the other direction. I know it's not going to work, but Surge Industrial is different. Bill, why is it different?
It's because we have our own chemist and chemical engineer on board, and we formulate all our products in-house in Aurora, Ohio. So we're thoroughly tested before we go to market with it. Nobody else has these formulas. They're unique to us.
And you brought 3 products today here. First, the aircraft cleaner.
It has 4 certifications for it, specifically for the skin of an aircraft. And we think there's an application here within the racing industry for aluminum cleaner. The other one we brought, our foamy surface cleaner. Spray it on, it adheres, bubbles come up, it has an agitation effect, cleans a lot better and deeper without any noxious smell. So it's great to use in close proximities. But our folks really love the wipes. What's great about the wipes, it's our hard surface cleaner on a nice wipe. I like to demonstrate here what I think is a home run for those grease monkeys out there.
Well, yeah, here's something that we've seen before. Andy sees. As we know, this stuff, you can never get it off. It's on your hands all day.
Yeah. So we have a nice wipe here. We have a hard side and a buffing side. It's a hard surface cleaner. We're going to take this, wash it around here a little bit, and it's all clean, as you can see. Everything adheres to the towel. It stays in the towel. It doesn't transfer. So once it's in here, it stays. If these ever dry out, you just add some bottled water. Distilled water reactivates the chemicals. And you can use this till the towel is soiled on both sides. So effectively, instead of 85, you're getting 170.
Go to surgeindustrial.com right now and find green that cleans for real. Not just race cars and racing gear here on display at the PRI show. Got some pretty amazing simulators here because, you know, naturally, what do racers do when they're not racing? Of course, they go racing on a simulator in this case. PRI happens in the off season, so this is a perfect way to scratch your racing itch. To its power. There we go. Don't touch that remote. We've got more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings coming up after this.
Dragonfire Tools, quality affordable storage. Proud sponsor of our DragonfireTools.com studio.
Rolling along with Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. A lot of car owners out there are looking for something to bring the look of the ride to the next level. Well, that's where Jalisco's carbon fiber comes in. Now, first of all, Bernardo, we're talking some great looking parts you have here, but before we get to that, I want to talk about your story. Why did you start making parts for cars in the first place?
Yes, I was working a 9 to 5. I was a physical therapist assistant when everything started. See, because I was a car guy too, I ended up getting a Q50 and I wanted some carbon fiber parts too. But a lot of manufacturers and sellers were really smoke and mirrors about what they were selling. And a steering wheel like this, maybe not the exact design, but they were selling it for like $800, $900, $1,000. And I can't afford that. And I saw a lot of other people couldn't afford that as well. So I said, why don't I do a few other group orders together? Maybe we'll order about 100 steering wheels. If we take the loss on it, if it's not the quality up there, but if we get them, hey, we got them at cost. And I got a reputation through that, being customer service, reliable. And I did that all at zero profit while working a 9 to 5. And then after that, people were saying, hey, can you get me this? Can you get me that? And that's where the side hustle grew. I started an Instagram, that started growing. So my reputation really got great. And then we kind of hit it towards the big guys that were making all this profit. And now you saw, hey, everyone can afford it. It's just you have to sell at the right price with the right quality. Fast forward along, it was either do this or stay in medical. And I took the leap of faith about a year ago full time. And yeah, it just got big from there. And that one full year, we got our own warehouse. We got notified by you guys, and then we're also going to hit $1 million in sales too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you think the reason's been for your success in such a short time?
I think we're the first carbon fiber brand that puts ourselves in the shoes of the customers. We say, can you afford this? Do you want to receive your product like this? Do you want to deal with the products like this a year from now? So we really put the customer first. When you have an issue with the carbon fiber or the company or anything, you speak to myself, you did speak to my wife or one of our workers, Junior, which is our installer. So you're always speaking to someone dedicated to the brand, someone that actually has their life and blood in here. So that's why I put myself. It's the customer, priority, quality, longevity, and pricing too. That's a big thing.
Obviously, we have this great looking Infiniti. How many different makes and models do you cover?
Our hit in the market is Infiniti, Q50, Q60, Q37, but we're really branching off to as many models as we can, BMW, Lexus, Tesla, everything. The next one's coming up, which I think is going to be a really big market, is Kia Stinger and Supra. So that's the ones that we already have products ready. But like I said, every other brand's coming along. But Q50, this is like our bread and butter.
And you have a lot of stuff from stem to stern here. What are some of your more popular pieces?
Our carbon fiber mirrors are one of the best sellers, so that's the big one. And then our steering wheels, that's a really big part of our business, especially because you can customize it literally exactly to how you want it. But those are the big ones that everyone's getting.
A lot of people are selling carbon fiber out there, but a lot of it's carbon fiber look. Is this the real deal?
Yeah, so you're getting 100% carbon fiber with everything we sell. And that's, I think, why our business is growing, is a lot of times other sellers were selling carbon fiber. They didn't finish out the sentence by saying look. This is actually 100% carbon fiber.
How important is quality to you when you're getting parts and sending them out to folks?
That's one of my #1 priorities, along with customer service, is quality. I know customers don't want to deal with quality issues a year down the line, a week down the line, a day down the line. So that's where I really want these things to last for the customer, for what they're paying. A lot of our products, we do have warranty on what we sell.
in regards to quality. You mentioned Junior. He's come along on your staff. How has he helped with fitment and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so he's been a really huge help on the back end. Like I tell people, I don't know how to pick up a hammer, so I don't know how to install these parts. He's been a wizard at installing things that usually is pretty difficult. We tell people usually some shops will charge you hundreds, thousands of dollars to get something on, and he'll get almost OEM-like fitment for, you know, a fraction of what everyone else is charging, and professionally done. So it goes from easy to fair to sometimes professional. Like I said, we try to sell to everyone that can afford it, so we try to be as general as possible. The good thing that a lot of the parts we sell, there's probably hundreds, thousands of videos already on YouTube that everyone's done installation. So there's always a source where you can find installation tips on there. Like I said, YouTube's the biggest thing, but when you come to our shop, we also install those for you as well.
You talked about the mirror and the steering wheel being some of your most popular parts. What are some of your popular big items that you're selling?
Yeah, so the big things that everyone is getting to us is the hood, fenders, and trunk. We used to be known for these smaller items, but we are starting to ship these palletized things, so it's always secure when it arrives to you. But these are the big hitters right now, is the fenders, the hoods, and the trunks. And we have a bunch of designs, and we have it in regular carbon fiber, which is what you see, forged carbon fiber, which is almost like a marble carbon fiber, and honeycomb carbon fiber, which is a big hit too.
Jalisco's carbon fiber can do just about the impossible. They can give you something that looks great, something that's going to last a long time, and at an affordable price. You can find them at Jalisco'sCarbonFiber.com or on Instagram, and you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings and more cool products when we come back.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Eagle Lights, finely crafted LED lighting solutions. Ohio Custom Gauges, customize your Harley gauges with LED modifications, custom faceplates, and glass repair. Rock Jock 4x4, proven professional off-road products and accessories since 1985. And by NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
We are Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, and we are big fans of old vans like this. A lot of folks are restoring them. We know this one's about 30 years old, and Danny, it's mechanically sound, but it's getting a lot of leaks and things like that, and you can hear a lot of wind noise. What can steel rubber do to help this van?
Yeah, so obviously if your weather stripping starts to deteriorate, come see us. We have all kinds of stuff for vans. I mean, they've become super popular recently.
And like this one, this is a camper van.
Yeah, that's right. So this one's a camper van conversion, so it's got some of the camper windows in the back. So we've got parts for those as well, straight out of our RV line, really. But of course, we have all the direct fit replacements. This thing has 6 doors, so we got the front doors, the side cargos, the rear cargos. We've got the sliding door for those particular vans, pieces for the windshield, the camper windows, the hood decal, all the stuff for your run channels, your belt lines, for your door glass, and even some of those accent pieces like the door hinge seals.
Right, and that's one we replaced, and what was that process like?
It was one of the easiest parts to replace. It's 4 bolts, takes the door away from the van. You put the grommets back in, replace them, and then slide it right back into place, put the bolts back in.
And you guys were able to do that in about 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, no, it was super easy, and whenever you're going to be painting this thing or you're wanting to freshen it up, those pieces make a lot of difference in how it appears.
And that's also a place where some water can get in as well and get inside those doors. So it's
yeah, absolutely. So you want to make sure everything's nice and tight there.
Gotcha. And then we looked at the windshield, the seal around that. It actually had shrunk over the years. How typical is that of a windshield seal?
It's pretty typical for vehicles that have window trim. So that trim is actually made from a vinyl, and vinyl is what shrinks. So we have a rubber replacement. It won't shrink, crack, fade, any of that. And it's the same deal with those camper windows. Those have areas where they shrink and create little gaps. It's vinyl as well, so we have a rubber replacement for it.
And you and I replaced the seal around the windshield. Walk the folks through that process and some of the things we need to look for.
So this windshield trim, essentially it's a stick-on piece. It's kind of shaped like a T, and the bottom part of the T goes in between the metal and the glass. It's got the adhesive 3M tape on the back, so we peel that up and just place it back in there. And around those corners, sometimes it gets a little tight, so we're going to put some glue on that to finish up the job and tape that down, make sure it stays secured.
I love everything about steel rubber and the products you guys make, but I especially love the fact that it's pretty much plug and play. It matches the OEM stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So all of our parts are designed from originals. So we may take a door seal off of this thing, we'll cut it, look at the extrusion, we'll make a board for all the pin placements so they know exactly where to go. We've got the molded ends that go right where they should. Any clip holes, molded corners, all those pieces are done. So it's a direct replacement, easy install.
And because of details like that, a lot of times steel rubber's products are better than the original.
That's right, and it's actually a better material. So we use 100% EPDM, which is UV ozone resistant, and it's not going to deteriorate the same way that the original stuff did.
So If I'm looking for something that may seem like a specialty part, how do I find it at Steel Rubber?
Yeah, so sometimes you're looking for something that we don't have a replacement part for, it just doesn't exist in general. So we have a huge universal line for RVs, but for street rods, customs, you know, if you're chopping a top on something. We've got a massive amount of seals and weather stripping for doors, windows, all the things that you might need when you're trying to put something back together. We've got a sample packs if you're looking for something in particular, like, hey, I need something for my window trims. We'll send you a sample pack for those window trims and you can find something that matches.
And that's if you don't find it in your own personalized catalog from Steel Rubber.
That's right. So we offer a year, make, model specific catalog. We print them for each customer. We've got one here printed for this 91 van, just for Motorhead Garage. We send those out every single day.
And that's every part from stem to stern that this van owner might need as far as rubber seals.
That's right.
If I'm having trouble finding it at that point, how can your customer service folks help me out?
We've got a fantastic customer service team. I can't say enough about them. They treat each customer's project as if it was their own. If you're trying to find something that'll work, we'll send back pictures back and forth and we'll find something for you.
Excellent. I know that you guys have an entire library there of different kinds of seals and things you can draw on from vehicles in the past as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, all of our extrusions we keep in-house. If they've got a general appeal to them, that might be something that would work for you. We can tell you what 60s GM type vehicles used or 60s Ford and find something that'll match.
How far back do you go at Steel Rubber as far as vehicles?
So we go back to the teens, even though there wasn't a whole lot of rubber, but you know, certain grommets, bumpers, mounts, those types of things, all the way up into 2019. So we have over 100 years worth of parts.
And it's not just for cars and trucks as well. You guys also cover RVs, as you mentioned, and boats. It's something you're towing behind your RV.
Yeah, we like to say we got sealing solutions for the things that move you, because we're passionate about these things too. So when you are taking your van down to the river on your boat, you got a reason, you know?
Perfect. Well, he may live in a van down by the river, but Danny works at Steel Rubber. You can find all these products for just about any vehicle at steelrubber.com. That's going to do it for this episode of Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. We'll see you next week when we do it again. So long.